It's just a few hours before the release of Ahsoka Episode 7, and as expected, we're all excited. But we have some updates with regards to things that you should expect in the episode. So without further ado, welcome to Star Wars Deconstructed, Students of the Force and Acolytes of the Galaxy. Whether you're a Jedi, Sith, or somewhere in between, join us today as we give you a preview of Episode 7 of the Ahsoka series. We start with the biggest theory that's been buzzing around, and it's all about Shin Hati and how her character arc might just accomplish what the Star Wars franchise missed with Kylo Ren. First things first, let's talk about Shin Hati. She's quickly become a fan favorite, and her master Balin's skull are a bit of an enigma in the Star Wars universe, especially with those orange lightsabers. Now what's got us really excited is the parallel between Shin and Kylo Ren. Both of them started out on the dark side, and both had intense rivalries with Jedi. Shin's rivalry with Sabine Wren feels a lot like the dynamic between Rey and Kylo, with those epic duels that are as much about mental strength as they are about lightsabers clashing. But here's where it gets interesting. While Kylo Ren's doubts and conflicts are mostly internal, Shin Hati seems to be questioning her path and her loyalty to Balin. Ahsoka Episode 6 was a turning point for her. She's starting to see Balin's words and realizes that Peridea might not be where she wants to stay. This inner conflict in Shin is something we never quite saw with Kylo Ren. And this brings us to the big question. Will Shin Hati be redeemed? We're starting to hope so. She doesn't seem interested in the kind of power Balin is chasing, and her experiences on Peridea are opening her eyes. Could she be swayed by Ahsoka and Sabine's crew? The potential for a redemption arc here is tantalizing, and it could play out in Episode 7. Still on Shin Hati, let's talk about something else that we could see play out in the next episode. The ship between Shin and Sabine. Yeah, they may be rivals, but there's something brewing there, just like how fans ship Kylo Ren and Rey. The parallels continue with that intense forest duel, and despite the clashes, Shin seems reluctant to go after Sabine again with Balin. Is there a soft spot there? Could we be seeing an enemies to friends dynamic in the making? It's a twist that Kylo Ren's character never quite took, but it's a path that Shin Hati might explore. So where does Ahsoka go from here? Will this redemption story for Shin come to fruition? Well, it's hopeful, but Ahsoka might also be headed in a different direction. Shin still seems drawn to power, even if it's not the same kind Balin seeks. She's shown a willingness to embrace the dark side in the past, like when she force-choked Sabine, but maybe, just maybe, she'll be convinced by Sabine or Ahsoka to choose life over power. But if Shin continues down her current path with Balin, she might end up facing a Kylo Ren-like choice to kill her master for power. However, the more exciting possibility is that she'll break free and follow her own path, one that leads to redemption. All she needs is a chance to see things from the perspective of Jedi like Sabine, Ezra, and Ahsoka. By now, we're all super hyped about Grand Admiral Thrawn's live-action debut, but what if there is more to the Grand Admiral's story in Episode 7? What if Thrawn is not the real villain in Ahsoka? Don't get us wrong, Thrawn is an epic character, and Palpatine himself thought this guy could have squashed the Rebel Alliance like a bug. But here's the deal. There's some pretty strong evidence suggesting that the Ahsoka series is hiding its true story, and it might be way bigger than Thrawn. First off, we haven't been tuned in on what Thrawn's been up to for 9 years in Peridea. His Star Destroyer looks like it's been through the ringer, and his 9 troopers in uniform have seen better days. Balin's skull and Shin Hati have their own agenda, and Balin's been getting some serious vibes from the Force on Peridea. Some say it might be the Bendu or a dark side nexus, but whatever it is, Balin thinks it's a force to be reckoned with. He's dropping cryptic hints like breadcrumbs, and he believes that whatever's happening on Peridea could break the never-ending light versus dark cycle in the Star Wars galaxy. That's some deep stuff, and it feels like a story way beyond just Thrawn. And then there's that bombshell from Thrawn at the end of Episode 6. He's been dabbling in Night Sister magic, and he's not just doing it for kicks. Thrawn's been working with the Great Mothers to get off Peridea, but his words make it seem like there's something even more sinister at play. It's like they're forming an alliance against a bigger villain. So while the lead up to Thrawn's live-action debut has been a wild ride, there's still so many questions left unanswered. It's clear that Thrawn might be dealing with something way more dangerous than we initially thought. The Ahsoka series has got its secrets, and it feels like there's a massive plot lurking in the shadows, just waiting to be unveiled in Episode 7. We're in for one heck of a ride, and only time will reveal what Ahsoka's real story is. We all went nuts when Hayden Christensen made his epic return as Anakin Skywalker in Ahsoka, but let's be real. Iman Esfandi's Ezra Bridger is where the real action is. Now don't get us wrong, Anakin's cameo was an incredible moment, but when you look at the big picture, Ezra Bridger is the key player in the Ahsoka storyline. Ahsoka has been giving us a roller coaster of excitement since it dropped on Disney+, and while it was initially billed as Star Wars Rebels Season 5, Episode 5 felt more like a throwback to the Clone Wars. We're still not entirely sure what went down in that episode. Some say it was Anakin's Force Ghost. Others think it was just a figment of Ahsoka's imagination. But what really matters is the message Anakin had for Ahsoka. Choose life over death. It was a pivotal moment in her personal journey. Let's be honest here, as awesome as Anakin's return was, it didn't exactly push the Ahsoka plot forward. The real deal here is the quest for Grand Admiral Thrawn and the pathway to Peridea. Ahsoka's adventures in the world between worlds, while intriguing, seem somewhat tangential to the main story. We're still scratching our heads over exactly what Ahsoka learned from Anakin. Now fast forward to episode 6, Ezra Bridger returns, and he's at the heart of the narrative. Ezra's the reason Grand Admiral Thrawn got exiled in the first place. He's the one Sabine's been searching for, and his connection to Hera's determination to find Thrawn has caused a stir in the New Republic. Plus, he's the only one that knows what Thrawn's been up to on Peridea. Sure, Anakin's comeback tugged at our heartstrings with nostalgia, but in terms of importance to the story, Ezra Bridger takes the cake. He has the potential to shape Sabine's Jedi training and become a vital ally in the fight against Thrawn. Ahsoka's journey wouldn't have progressed as far without him, and that's something we can't necessarily say about Anakin, no matter how unforgettable that Star Wars moment will always be. In Ahsoka, Captain Enoch, portrayed by Wes Chatham, is Thrawn's right-hand man and the leader of the Night Troopers, a unique division of stormtroopers. These Night Troopers are noticeably different from the standard stormtroopers, with patched up and weird-looking armor that sets them apart. They exhibit fanaticism, disciplined behavior, and wear armor that seems like it's been repaired and altered in a distinctly unsettling way. They're even referred to as Night Troopers in the Disney Plus subtitles, as opposed to the traditional stormtroopers. Enoch himself stands out among the Night Troopers. His armor includes a golden humanoid-looking mask in place of the standard stormtrooper faceplate. This mask, along with his unique robes, makes him look particularly eerie and sets him apart as the leader. One intriguing theory is that the Night Troopers, including Enoch, may be more than just regular stormtroopers. The visual cues, such as their armor with golden plates and the overall aesthetic, suggest a connection to the Dathomiri Night Sisters and their witch kingdom on Peridea. Given the Night Sisters' use of dark magic, it's possible that the Night Troopers are somehow connected to this magic and may even be undead beings being kept alive through it. Enoch's mask resembles a funerary mask, which ancient cultures used to help the deceased retain their identity in the afterlife. This further supports the idea that there may be a supernatural or undead element to Enoch and the Night Troopers. It's worth noting that Wes Chatham, the actor behind Enoch, is known for his roles in sci-fi television, particularly as Amos Burton in The Expanse. And if you haven't watched it, go watch it, it's amazing. But his experience in playing military-type characters makes him a fitting choice for the role of Enoch. While Enoch's character is still shrouded in mystery, his appearance and the uniqueness of the Night Troopers hint at a deeper and potentially supernatural aspect to their origins. As the Ahsoka series continues to unfold, we may learn more about Enoch and the role he plays in Thrawn's grand plan in Episode 7. If you enjoyed watching the video, make sure to subscribe and watch the next one.